الدنيا سيزون 2 ابيسود 2 اول مره.
لا على فكره احنا كنا بنرفعها وبعد كده بنقفلها.
خلينا
مرفوع.
على الكاميرا.
الجو ده
السلك جه على الكاميرا. الدنيا سيزون 2 ابيسود 2 اول مره.
بقول لك ايه
تك خمسة. انت مرفوض. قشطه ولا ايه؟
لا خلاص بقى ابدا بقى خلاص. انت عايز النوز دي في حاجه؟
لا ما اكيد مش باين. انا كانت جنبي بس.
يعني احنا هناخد نوتس وكده يعني.
Yeah.
انا احنا كده جامدين كده بنحضر حلقات يعني.
اكزاكت
كده اننا بنحضر حلقات عشان تعرف ان احنا بنجهز الحلقات.
ان شاء الله حد
في بنبقى المفروض نجيب لابتوب بقى ونحطه
ايوه
نجيب ماك.
بقى ربنا بودكاست بشوفه وبيبقى قاعدين قدامهم ايباد كده ومعاهم قلم ويقعدوا يكتبوا.
بتكتبوا
مش عارف. انا
مش محاضره.
عملنا 16 حلقه ولا 17 حلقه ما كتبتش حاجه مش كده. لا كتبت
كده
حاجه قبل الحلقه ولا كتبت حاجه بعد الحلقه.
ذاكر اللي بعدين.
يلا الحمد لله.
ذاكر خير.
الحمد لله. عامل
الدنيا
عامل ايه؟
عمل ايه؟
الحمد لله. ايه الدنيا؟
مش مهم انت اللي طبعا على بعض.
ايه ده امير؟ انت اللي جابك كده.
Did I interrupt something?
لا خلاص بقى اوكي. ما هبقى اشوف بعد الحلقه نقعد نتكلم مع بعض. اخويا كرولز
ايه الاخبار؟
حلقه كده مكملين في السيزون الحمد لله يعني.
الحمد لله.
مهما الدنيا كانت صعبه مكملين الحمد لله. دي حاجه حلوه بالنسبه لي.
السيزون 2 صعب قوي يا رب.
كرولز امير قوي امير فينك يا اسطى؟
I'm here man. انت عامل
انت فين كده؟ مش شفتكش بقى حبه حلوين.
Just been studying, you know. It's 4 years بس الحمد لله عدوا.
studying انت مش خلصت؟
I was studying.
you was studying.
now I'm here.
انا ما بحبش بتوع ميديكال سكول كلهم واي حاجه.
الحمد لله مش بتاع ميديكال سكول.
مش ميديكال قصدي اي حاجه. بص اي حاجه فيها حقن ما بحبهاش.
ماشي.
حتى النيرسينج ما بحبوش.
انت يعني انت خلاص دنتال سكول صح؟
الحمد لله.
Okay.
I finished graduated in May.
احنا لسه ما عملناش الدور الحلقه.
امير what do you call a doctor that failed out of medical school?
Dentist. حبيبي. I've heard it so many times.
تعرف مين اللي عمل لي
بس
ده؟
at the end doctor. That's all that matters.
ايوه سؤال عشان
نوضح
انا عندي
للناس.
اصحاب كتير في دنت سكول تمام وكلهم بتريق عليهم.
Go ahead.
لو في مريض على طياره وانت قاعد وجت المضيفه قالت hey please is there a doctor on the plane وانت رحت رافع ايدك هتعمل له حاجه؟
لا مش عارف اعيد. ما انا مش عارف اعيد
ده دكتور.
There's no doctor on the plane. انا هكمل نفسي. I'm as if I'm not
بس you
there.
guys take a lot of
We do.
anatomy.
Essentially the first 2 years are the same. So technically in medical emergencies زي ما حصلوا like in a patient chair and if they happen in a plane بس then again even if it does happen on a plane it's not like Grey's Anatomy حد يعمل surgery on a plane or stuff like لا مش كده. It's not like that. But it's like you just got to make sure that they're stable. So when it comes down to it am I going to raise my hand? Depends.
هتقول طب افرض
تخيل
درس وجعه مثلا.
تخيل مامتك
درس وجعه؟ لا
درس وجعه
على
يعني.
الطياره.
أنا مذاكر.
على الطياره اخد ايبروفين عادي.
دي أنا مذاكر. That's okay. I can do that.
تخيل هو قاعد على الطياره وهم قاعده جنبه. انا ابني دكتور انا ابني دكتور.
بس
مش نبدا يا ابن الحلقه يا ابني؟
نبدا الحلقه.
احنا كنا بنقول في الاول ابدا انت.
ايه الدنيا على كل الناس بتتفرج علينا على اليوتيوب.
ولا تاني معلش.
تاني ماشي. ايه الدنيا على كل الناس بتتفرج علينا على اليوتيوب
او بتسمعنا على سبوتيفاي.
ده بودكاست ايه الدنيا.
احنا بنتكلم في كل حاجه واي حاجه
مع بيور هوستس كرولز خليج
ورمون جورج.
ما
احنا سيزون بحاله قاعدين
قعدنا شهرين نحفظ في الجملتين دول.
انت بتتفرج علينا من سيزون 1 سمعت كده؟
I do. I really enjoy it.
وصاحبك ريمون جه قعد معانا.
He did.
في اي فيدباك قالها لك؟
He told me he had a great time.
طيب ايه احلى الكراسي ولا الكنب؟
I like a canap to be honest. Even Miriam noticed it. She noticed it. She was like, no, I like a canap.
كنب احلى؟ انت عارف الناس مين اللي قاعد هنا؟
مريم دي مراتي المدام هنا معايا.
الجماعه. ايوه صح. استنى which episode was your favorite in season 1?
So I watched.
هتقول لي بقى ريمون.
I did. I liked Ramones, of course. Ahmed's episode was very, very nice. Arseni Ghali was. I really enjoyed listening to him.
Oh wow.
Jen, I listen. He's, you know, me and Jen are related.
No way.
Yeah, we are. So his wife, I think, is my dad's like second, third cousin.
صار دي مراتك مش قريبتك.
Huh?
وصلها ليه؟
I hope maybe she knows. هي بتبقى مذاكرة الحاجات دي. I don't know. But yeah, Jen's related to us brother. So I really enjoyed
احنا يا
that.
ابني قلت لك 100 مره البودكاست ده ملوش فانز. البودكاست ده فاميلي كبيره.
الله.
احنا فاميلي كبيره
I like it.
وجايبين ناس قريبين مننا كمان. احنا لو دورنا ممكن نلاقي امير يردنا في حاجه.
ايوه.
طيب انت في منفس ولا هنا؟
I'm in Memphis. So I graduated. But Miriam's in. She's still in dental school, so she's in her third
احنا
year.
لسه احنا قلنا ان هو دكتور ولا لسه؟ احنا قلنا صح؟
Yeah.
طب نعرفك تاني مش مهم. انت راجل تعبت معانا في الكليه نعرفك
الله
تاني.
يخليك.
انت خلصت ايه يا امير؟
خلصت Doctor of Dental Surgery.
بتفرق حاجه عن دنتست؟
هي dentist.
برضه
في
باتشلرز اوف ميكانيكال
وفي
انجينيرنج.
يعني
قول
DDS
ميكانيكال عادي.
وفي DMD برضه same thing.
لا قول تاني كده.
في DDS Doctor of Dental Surgery وفي DMD شوفها برضه دكاترة. If you see DMD Doctor of Medicine and Dentistry, it's the same thing.
Yeah, what's the difference?
There's
Just
no difference. So
just
the
the
colleges started arguing with each other, and like I think it was like Harvard and try to fit the very first dental schools. So they just named something new, but it's the same degree.
يابا هارفارد ويل وحاجه.
لا احنا
هنخرج من تيستك.
احنا في منفس. احنا في منفس.
هنخرج من تيستك.
Okay, طب let me ask you some questions عشان
Go ahead.
I'm not familiar with the, I know I'm familiar with the positions, but I'm not familiar with يعني are you مثلا can you be an orthodontist?
So
Or that's something else.
after
كان يبقى اورثودوكس. دخل دي في ليه في حاجات دي.
give us
بس هي ده.
so after the 4 years يعني of undergrad, you get your bachelor's and then you go to dental school. After the 4 years of dental school, you're a general dentist. You can do anything. You learn stuff within orthodontics and oral surgery and endo, yani root canals or kids كمان. But you can do a little bit of everything. But there's also specialties. You can do residencies. So if someone wants to specialize and do only those things and get extra training, they can. But the good thing yani, about general dentistry is you can do whatever you want.
Okay.
I don't do any braces. But we can take courses for like Invisalign and things like that to do essentially the same thing.
Okay. يعني if you want to do the extra stuff like مثلا I don't know root canals and
Yeah,
stuff
so
like that.
I can do root canals right now, but there is a type of dentist that are endodontists which took the residency and only do root canals. They don't do anything else anymore.
Okay.
And all day, just root canals all day. Usually the more complex cases that we refer. So there's things like that. In pediatric, if they only want to see kids, they don't want to see any adults. They can specialize in pediatrics just to see kids.
Okay. That's pretty fun.
الدوخه.
Yeah, so many extras after you
أنا أول لما
finish
جيت هنا.
If you want to. طبعا, but right now, as a general dentist, I can do root canals, I can do extractions, I can do fillings, crowns, see kids, all that.
هوليوود سمايل.
Hollywood smile.
تعرفش
بالمكياج بقى الكلام ده. نحط كليب.
كنت اقول لك ايه؟ انا اول لما جيت البلد دي الكلام ده من 11 سنه تقريبا. ضرسي وجعني. وريته ما وجعني. لفيت لف عشان الاقي دكتور سنان يعمل لي اسناني. رحت لواحد قال لي لا ده الضرس ده انا تقريبا كانت 13 ما اعرفش ارقامهم تقريبا. هو كان سنه قبل التخصص بتاعي. يعني مثلا لو هي السنه دي فده اخره هنا التخصص بتاعه. فانا مش فاهم هو هتهزر يا ابني ولا ايه؟ يعني ايه يعني ايه دكتور سنتين بس يعني ايه دكتور
كانش هنا اليوم المحاضره.
يعني ايه دكتور نازل من بيتهم لابس بالطو ورايح عياده ويروح يقول لهم لا والله السنه دي مش تخصصي. يعني في حاجه يعني كلها اسنان ربنا.
Look out for you.
طب يعني ليه بقى في تخصصات في السنان؟
بس يعني for example did you end up getting a root canal?
لا مش فاكر كام مش فاكر تقريبا
whatever يعني anything like that. Some like I said some of it is just more complicated anatomy and the teeth itself. So they'll just choose to refer you.
يعني هو ما بيتعلموش يعني الحاجات دي.
We do learn it. بس طبعا it's wanting to give our patients the best quality. So if we feel like يعني this endodontist who has the more technology and more equipment can do and more training to do this more complicated case, we're going to refer you to him because we want what's best for you.
انا ما رحت لهم كان عندي السنه وجعتني من شهرين. فرحت لهم برضه قالوا لي نفس البقين دول وراحوا قالوا لي
هم اللي احنا بنحفظهم.
تروحوا اورثو. فقلت له يا ابني اورثو ده فقعد يشرح لي بقى. فقال لي لازم يو هاف تو بوك عشان الاقي واحده اورثو تعمل لي اسناني قدامي 6 شهور كمان. اموت انا يعني عشان ده حد يبص لي على اسناني؟
لا اورثو.
اروح لاي مهندس كده اقول له انا عايز مثلا حاجه اعملها لك في ثانيتها، وممكن ما يكونش عمره حد شافها.
ما احنا في مشكله في العربيه انا ممكن احصل لحظه دلوقتي.
بس ما that's the thing, you don't want your dentist يبقى زي الميكانيكي كده
انا عايز
يعمل لك اي حاجه، يعمل لك اي حاجه. you know تروح الميكانيكيه يقول لك no only تويوتا بس.
هي اسنانك دي بتعمل حاجه انها تاكل. اسنانك دي بتعمل
actually that's what I wanted to talk about. كده this is exactly what I want to talk about. Dentistry is the only career where we tell you exactly what to do to put us out of business and people still don't listen to us. That's
مشكلة. اغسل سنانك.
مشكلة. ما انا لو قلت له ان انا يعني too much work همام معفن.
No مش كده. We never look at it that way. But when people come and then complain, يعني مرة I was doing a filling for this patient.
طبعا عندي سؤال هخليك تقول لي القصة بتاعتك، بس عندي سؤال دلوقتي. انا رايح لدكتور سنان تمام وسناني بتوجعني بيقول لي اغسل سنانك. انا بشوف ناس اللي هو بجد عندها ADHD اللي هو على طول صبح وليل وفلاس وكل حاجه وبرضه بيروح الدكتور.
دي مش ADHD that's normal.
ده
بس they may still get that.
طلع معفن اكتر. طلعت معفن امير من
cut. You still may get cavities يعني? Are you saying that they still may?
لا they take dental appointments all the time even if they.
Oh, that's the thing. يعني for example I tell patients all the time if you get a Mercedes or something you're not going to go do the maintenance on the Mercedes. Didn't you say, you know, everyone says you get the best car from the dealership, take it to the dealership. هي دي الفكرة. يعني but if you get the Ferrari, if you get the مش عارف ايه and you leave it in the garage وتروح توديها عند مش عارف مين يعمل لك الاويل تشينج وتعملها بنفسك, it's gonna go wrong.
عجبني. قول القصة بتاعتك بقى.
حلو.
So يعني that's the thing about dentistry. We tell you exactly what you need to do so that we put us out of business, but people still don't do it, and then they get mad when we tell them that they didn't do it. يعني بشكل شيك شوية. We say it in a nice way. And I had a patient who came to me and she was like, I'm going to do this filling. And after insurance, مش عارف ايه, it was one filling, one surface, يعني very easy. It was like $80 or something. So I sat down, I did the filling, مش عارف ايه, and then filled it, 5 minutes. She goes, wow, that's it? 5 minutes, $82? I was like, طب ماشي, do the filling yourself.
دي غلطتك يا ابني.
ها؟
دي غلطتك.
مفروض كنت تطول. That's what I'm saying. I was like, you wanted it to be longer? يعني you complain when it's too long. You complain when it's too short. انتوا عايزين مننا ايه؟
يعني انت I think you need a very high customer service experience.
It is. Yeah, man.
عشان كده اللي بيشتغلوا في وينديز وان ان اوت هم اكتر ناس بيروحوا للدنتست عشان this is the best customer service.
Yeah, that's exactly. Chick-fil-A of.
بأمانة ربنا انا بيصعب عليا والدكاتره عشان دايما يعني الدكتور ده اكتر بني ادم الناس كلها فاكره ان هي تعرف تعمل شغل. تمام اي حد ممكن يبقى دكتور واي حد. مش عايز اقول بقى.
You really would be surprised. You'd be surprised what people say to us.
يعني مثلا ماما كانت لسه عايزه تسالك سؤال تمام اللي هو ليه بنشيل الوزدم تيس كلهم مره واحده في مصر بيشيلوا ناحيه وناحيه تقريبا يعني
بس they don't put them to sleep. يعني احنا I can do that. يعني I take out wisdom teeth on people يعني 2 at a time but we don't put them to sleep. يبقوا صاحيين and they can يعني they're not feeling everything but there's pressure. بس اللي بينيموا بقى the oral surgeons which is يعني another specialty that you can do, they don't want to deal with you if you're awake. They just put you to sleep and then all 4 one time.
واحنا نموت بعديها بقى.
لا ما ان شاء الله you wake up.
لا مش فكرة كده بقى في وجع بعد كده انا بكره وجع السنان.
هيبقى في وجع all the time. I know it's not fun. It's طبعا it's the worst pain.
ممكن افتي فاتيه؟ وانت دكتور معانا تقول لي الفاتيه دي حقيقة ولا لا؟
لا
انا سمعت ان وجع السنان اصعب من وجع الحمل.
يا سلام.
حد يعرف؟
الفتي
انا سمعت
أنا-
اي حد فيمنست دلوقتي بيسمعنا ممكن يجي يفوقك.
You're canceled خلاص. الدنيا canceled.
قفلنا البرنامج.
It's the pain. يعني people I've seen grown men يعني come in with tattoos وبتاع and then and crying and whenever they get the needle they're scared of needles.
Whoa.
And I always see that whenever I'm giving someone a shot and they're يعني doing the absolute يعني most but they're covered in tattoos and piercings. Say, how'd you get these tattoos? Oh yeah, with a needle, but it's not the same, doc. No, it's the same. I think it's the idea of a needle coming at you like this.
Yeah.
انا مرة
It's pretty scary بصراحة.
احنا نقعد الحلقة دي كلها نتكلم على الاكسبيرينسز بتاعتنا في بعد كده السنين. رحت للدكتور ف he said he's gonna do a deep clean. فانا عملت كليننج قبل كده سهل مش صعب يعني مش محتاج تخدير مش محتاج اي حاجه. قال لي الديب كلين لازم عندك حقنه اخدر لك وشك وما اعرفش ايه وبتاع. فقلت له قشطه. بيقول لي الحقنه هو بيشرح لي انا مش عارف هو بيشرح لي يعني انا كبني ادم لما اروح عند الدكتور ما بحبش اشرح له اي حاجه
Some
اشتغل وانت
بالعكس
ساكت.
بصراحة.
Some
انا
you want
عكسك.
to.
I
I want
want
to
to
know
know انت هتهبب ايه في بقي.
بالظبط حابب ايه في بقي.
Yeah.
ما بيشرحوا لي ما بفهمش وبخاف.
لا ما هو انت مش مهم ان انا افهم, انا مش لازم افهم, المهم انت تقول لي ان انت هتديني بنك اوكي.
لا ما هو لازم يقول لك
ايه في كل درس دلوقتي.
لا ده
Just
مثلا
to
قاعد
need to-
يشرح لي يقول لي بص انا هديك حقنه وعلى فكره
حقنه كبيره.
هو مش عايز صغير. قال لي اتس سو بريسايز وما اعرفش ايه وبتاع هاف تو هاف لايسنس عشان اديك الحقنه دي. قلت له ليه يعني؟ قال لي انا there's nerves over here ولازم I have to hit the nerve ولو عملت غلط انت ممكن تتشل وقعد يشرح لي حاجات كده. قلت له
لا ما خدناهاش دي.
باشا
ده كان بيفتي.
باشا انت بتعمل ايه؟ في اللي فهمت غلط.
ده كان بيفتي.
ما اعرفش فاداني حقنه لحد يعني ما اعرفش الحقنه
You felt it in your eye.
لا الحته دي كلها يعني
Yeah.
من هنا كده كله ده انا ما كنتش حاسس بيه.
Yeah.
فده الموضوع كان بالنسبه لي
That is بس يعني we can do that عادي. Unless did he give it through your face?
لا مش طبيعي.
I've seen dentists do that.
Oh my god.
It's like old technique where they used to give it through the face to get I promise.
ايه فيلم الرعب
ايه ده؟
That's what I'm saying. Actually, do you know back then dentists used to not use gloves. That's one thing. And then
No.
dentists dentists also used to believe that kids didn't feel pain. They didn't have nerve pains because they're baby teeth. They thought that the kids didn't feel pain. So they used to not inject kids.
Wow.
زمان.
يعني they used to extract.
شايف أخوك؟
شايف الصوت ازاي؟
يعني they would extract.
Yes.
طب ما like babies ولا like
No, like kid, for example, like a 5-year-old, 6-year-old, 7-year-old.
طب ما they will start crying.
They'll
Obviously
start
they're
crying.
feeling pain.
They'll start crying. But yeah, they think they
ما
didn't actually
هو
feel pain.
بيعيط
They were
عشان-
scared of the experience, not scared of the pain.
الدكتور شكله بيخوف عشان بيعيط.
Yeah, but thank God, yani, that doesn't. That's not. We've definitely advanced. Now we use gloves.
حقيقي انا لما يجي دكتور يقول لي
Yeah.
كان اي تاتش يو يا عم خلينا بصوت
احنا
احمد.
جايين نتعاطف على بعض يلا.
Yeah, I don't know يعني بعد كل ده I don't know if you agree ولا لا بس I think dentists are the most hated doctors in the field.
I agree with you, and
قلنا مش
every
doctors بقى.
every day. That's why. But every day, I'll have a patient that tells me I hate the dentist. Yani, I'm holding a needle like this, coming next to him. Look, by the way, I hate the dentist. Tamashi, I hate you too.
Thank you
Yeah,
for letting me know.
I don't know.
I'll
يعني-
make it extra painful.
Yeah, yani, I'll tell. Sometimes I'll tell a patient, be like, that's not something you say to someone as they're about to
انا
give you
كل
a shot.
مره انا كل مره I don't hate you personally يعني ما اعرفكش انت عشان
Yeah, but they always say that. It's not personal.
انا اسمها انا ما بحبها ما بكرهكش
But no,
انت كبني ادم.
If anyone, no matter what they do, gets told I hate you every day, it's a little personal. Just a little bit.
ميك سنس. انا بعيط بالليل على السرير بفتكر.
Actually, no, I go home and خلاص I forget about it.
يا راجل.
Yeah, set boundaries, but
يا ولا احرق لنا الحلقه احرق.
transition.
احرق الحلقه احرق.
Cut.
يعني انت بجد يعني
خلاص, no, actually, do you know that?
do they teach you this in school?
They're going to tell you because we have yani, different classes on behavior management, classes on business management, and things like that. They tell you, yani, you will have patients that tell you they hate you. And you have patients after you tell them that they need a root canal or something, get mad at you and go leave a bad Google review. Yani, they'll get mad at you for something like that. They'll get mad at you if you tell them exactly what they need. And a lot of people have this concept that yani, we just want to make money. I promise you, we're not going to make money off of you to do your fillings that your insurance company is paying this much for. That's not what we get rich off of.
بس انت كده هو انت مش كوميشن انت مش على حسب انت عملت كام عيان.
No, actually, I'm gonna be honest with you. Dentists are paid on commission.
يا حراميه.
Dentists are
يا
paid.
حراميه.
Oh, it's just like any business, yani. The more you sell, the more you get paid.
احلف.
I promise.
طب انتوا كده تقلبونا.
The more you sell.
No,
I
my
don't
dentists.
get it.
If we have an ethical code that we follow, طبعا that
يلا صلي على
I'm.
النبي كده الكود.
I promise. Yani, I will tell the patient.
بعد كده.
The more you sell what? You're doing a service, صح?
Yes, you do a service, but you
The
get
more
my-
you do the service.
because we bill this to the insurances. So a filling doesn't cost the same as a root canal. It's just like, you know, if you pay this much for a root canal, but you're not paying the same amount for a filling, you're not paying the same amount for a crown, or you're not paying for an extraction. So depending on the complex the procedure, the insurance pays out more, or the patient therefore pays
يعني
out more.
الدكتور ممكن يروح I don't know how it works يعني تروح للمدير بتاعك تقول له بقول لك يا معلش انا مسافر كندا الاسبوع الجاي فمحتاج قرشين زياده فحطني في الروت كانالز بس.
لا ما طبعا I don't even get to say what's on my schedule. The front puts on my schedule and I do that.
وانت ممكن تغمز بتاعت الريسبشنست حاجه.
وديها خمسة كده.
$50
كان مش
كلها.
خمسة.
more extractions please.
اديني لا ما اكستراكشنز ارخص.
Yeah.
Extraction arcs?
Yeah, it's the cheapest thing.
انت ممكن تكستراكت $70.
You can extract yourself.
Yeah.
No, don't do that, please.
ليه عادي واحنا صغيرين كمان. تربط حاجات
والفتلة؟
ما اشتغلش الحاجات دي كلها لا تربط فتله وتقفل الباب وتحط
بابا كان يجي يقول لك هات
هذا شوفه ولا دكتور ولا حاجه. No, but I mean that's actually true. Dentistry is, and that is a big problem يعني. And طبعا I don't want to speak about يعني like corporates or anything, but some people feel maybe like corporations. Some people feel like corporations يعني that they're just trying to upsell more, or they're trying to do more, or يعني instead of taking the time to just do it as a regular filling, automatically saying it's going to be a root canal without giving it يعني its due diligence and seeing if it can be saved another way.
ما انا رحت للدكتور ما عادي اصلا خبط في الكوربريشن عايز فيه يعني ولا
انا مش خايف. انت خايف؟
مفيش حد يعرفنا اساسا كده.
I'm private. I work private, so انا
انت مش خايف.
انا ماليش دعوه. work private. مش بتاعي يعني.
طيب.
ده اللي
مش انت تابع انا يعني.
هو انتم بتشتغلوا الصبح؟ انا طول عمري اسمع شغال في المستشفى بالليل في العياده بالليل. في مصر بيعملوا كده. لما نزلنا مصر الاجازه ديت ما اعرفش ليه كل المصريين هو is it cheaper فعلا ان انت تعمل كل حاجه في مصر احسن من هنا؟
You get what you pay for. I mean, I all respect to the doctors over there. They went through school. They're dentists. دكاترة برضو. It is cheaper, but I mean, because they don't deal with insurance.
من ناحية دكاترة سنان فأنا أشك في الموضوع.
You don't have to respect.
لا طبعا be respectful يعني.
إحنا الفكرة في إيه بقى؟ إن كل اللي بيبقى عايشين هنا يقول لك أسناني وجعاني. طيب خلاص أنا آخد مسكن لحد ما أنزل مصر وأعمل سناني في مصر. هو مقتنع إن كده هو بيسيف ماني. يرجع بقى من مصر على هنا. دول سرقوني في مصر. كل حاجه انت كنت عملتها
كل حاجه غليت and my whole mouth hurts. and طبعا بقى here's the thing about when you do something here and something hurts, you can go back to the doctor and you can figure out what's wrong. When you go to Egypt and you come back يعني حلني بقى until you actually get to go back to that doctor, so you just sit there with the same pain.
لو لسه بيبراكتس بعد ما يخلص
exactly. so
معظمهم بيفتحوا بيزنس بعد كده
بس
لو خدت فلوس كتير. فانا كنت لسه بقول لك مثلا هنا انت دكتور سنان you have work schedule مثلا from 8 to 5 تمام. في مصر بيبقى شغال. اختي راحت عملت سنانها في مصر. الراجل كنت بخلص معاه كرولوس الساعه 3 الفجر فاتح العياده وقاعد
يعني
ولا كاني باي حاجه.
لو انت رحت الدكتور بيقول لك
انا مطبق مسلسل على التلفزيون كنت تلاقي حاجه على نتفليكس وقاعد يتفرج وجاب دكتور تاني وقاعدين لحد الساعه 3 الصبح بقى مضرب كان بيلبسنا حاجات في رجليا بيقول عشان النظافه والتعقيم.
لو انت رحت الدكتور وقال لك انا مطبق بقى ومش عارف ايه Are you gonna feel confident in that doctor?
طب انت شايف انت بتعمل بقول لك لحد الساعه 3 الصبح شغال ما بيقفش.
طب ممكن هو شفت بالليل انت ظالمه.
Yeah, I don't know if يعني the latest I've heard of offices here.
انت ما تصدقش اي حاجه غير هو في حاجه اسمها دكتور شفت بالليل.
Yes ده اكيد.
فاتحين عيال شفت بالليل.
I think it's his own personal business.
ما هي personal ما كان في شقه.
Anyways.
مش عايزين نقفل المحلات مش عايزين نقفل دكاتره.
I have all respect يعني for the doctors in Egypt and I have respect for all the doctors here.
طب what's the difference between اكيد انت لما انت نزلت مصر بعد ما اتخرجت؟
No, I haven't been to Egypt since 2018.
يعني يا ابني
that was actually before I started dental school.
That's yes. years. يعني انت ما تعرفش اي حاجه عن الدنتستري؟
يعني just from talking to relatives or family and يعني يعني Instagram pages I'll follow around.
في فرق كبير بين هنا وهناك؟
In terms of يعني what they do? No, everyone's doing the
same.
Studying طبعا the length over there is different عشان but that's everywhere. Anything in Egypt you finish يعني ثانوية عامة and I think dentistry is 5 years.
Yeah.
That's it. And it's the 4 years of undergrad and then the 4 years of dental school. So after 5 years they can go straight into dentistry. What I did have someone tell me in dentistry قبل كده is that a lot of the facilities in Egypt يعني there's no tuition in the dental schools. There's no tuition. But you have to pay for everything that the patients need. Yeah, that's what someone told me about the dental schools in Egypt. And for example, if you go to a dental school in Egypt to get work done, he's going to pay for your procedure and all the materials.
So he can practice يعني.
So he can practice, but there's no tuition.
مش ده المهاري هنا.
Oh, I think it's generally no tuition. مش الجامعة في مصر مفيش يعني any college that's not just dental.
في tuition.
الجامعات الخاصة.
No, like private colleges.
أنا كنت
Also Egypt needs
No, not private. Sorry, public.
أنا كنت في public. في بس مبلغ مش كبير. إنه بيبقى في financial aid كبير قوي.
Yeah. So they pay a big portion of it. That's what someone had told me, that there's no tuition, but you pay for all your patients' procedures. Here, we pay the tuition. We don't pay for the patient's procedures, but يعني, yeah, it's almost saying. Someone told us while we're in school, every clinical session that we have, that's $400 out of our pocket that we're paying to come see and do the work on the patients.
وانا فاكر ان being a pilot is كام؟ ندوس كام اكتر؟
بيضحكوا علينا.
Let's talk about the student loans. How much student loans do you have?
كنت عايز اقول لك بس اتكسفت.
My student loans مش بتكسف. My student loans is $250,000. That's 250,000.
Do you think it's worth it?
So-
معاك حاجه كده مش
Do you have any
حلوه
regrets?
معاك حاجه كده مش حلوه اي حاجه كان هيلب
So I don't have any regrets. طبعا all student loans are deferred right now because of economics or politics or حاجات كده. بس student loans, everyone has different view.
Do you know Dave Ramsey?
Yes.
I feel like I'm gonna go
He-
Dave Ramsey on you.
Dave Ramsey is all about paying everything, pay all your
Yeah.
debts, pay all your debts, and a lot of people are. Yani, I'm in the mentality is you let your money work for you. Meaning, yani, if I can figure it out to where pay the minimum, and eventually these student loans, yani, go away,
ايوه جو اواي كمان 30 سنه لما يكون ابنك في المدرسه
that's fine. But yani, if I pay the very, very minimum, yes, let it keep getting interest and getting more and more and more. But the money that I save, instead of paying it to the government, I get to use for whatever I want, investing it whatever I want. That's my take on it, yani.
going through انت back in high school
Mhm.
did you know that you're doing انت عايز تبقى دكتور سنان
I knew I wanted to do something in the medical field or yani, healthcare in general. I started off at one point, I wanted to do pharmacy. Actually, the very first thing I started off, I wanted to do chemical engineering. That was my very first thing, actually. And then,
ايه النقطه الغريبه دي
yeah, and then either way, I realized that I'm actually not good at math and I don't like math. So I was like, okay, I can't do engineering.
You were good at chemistry though, right?
يعني but not
انت
the engineering.
ولا كيمستري ولا انجينير انت عايز تعمل
Oh,
ايه
yeah, chemical
دكتور
engineering.
أسنان بقى. That's what, you know, what happened to the doctor that failed dental school. So then I thought about pharmacy, and I actually worked in a pharmacy, and I didn't like it. I just felt like I was, and no all respect to pharmacists, but I didn't like it.
بيرجع سخن
I didn't like it. Yani, I didn't feel like hands on. I didn't feel like I was having I wanted something where I could be more hands on, actually get to do something. And that's why my mind was going to engineering a little bit. And I found dentistry. I started shadowing a dentist, and I realized I love. The beauty of dentistry is every single person is different. Every single tooth is different. Even cavity in each person is different. It looks different. It may be a different color, maybe different texture. It's all different.
ما عرفتش
Huh? ما عرفتش. بس I enjoy it. So when I see that differences, and it's almost like a puzzle, and every single person, and figuring out what this person needs to make their mouth healthy again and make it full again. I enjoyed that, and that was a big part for me in going to dental school was that difference, and I like to make that difference. And even though I may do the same things every day, it's always different within between patient and patient. And patients will tell you they'll get so comfortable with you. They'll tell you all their life story, and you just hear it. And I like that. I like being able to
I've
talk
been
to
in
you.
these situations. It's like when you're having a conversation with the patient.
Mhm.
But you need them to open their mouth علشان you wanna do stuff.
Man.
اللي هو I've been in situations اللي هو like they're talking to me بس انا مش عارف ارد عليكم عشان انا عايزكم تخلصوني.
That's just so we can make you feel comfortable. نقعد نكلمك
أنا
لو قاعدين ساكتين كده.
احنا نفتح بيزنس ثيرابي ودنتست في نفس الوقت
I've seen it.
يبقى دكتور ثيرابيست قاعد جنبيكم وانت بتعمل سنان بتعالج كل حاجه
And I've seen dental offices that will do like therapy dogs or do like massages around your neck while
لما
they're
رحت للعياده كان في 4 انواع من التخدير ما اعرفش بيقول لك نحط لك ميوزك ده تدفع عليه $80 زياده
to play music.
يا
حرامية.
ما اعرفش يقول لك
Headphones. Headphones and music.
مش
with
فاكر
TV screen.
والتي في
probably.
سكرين
I've been in one with I was watching Netflix قبل كده while there were.
انا لسه قايل لك دلوقتي في مصر بيشغلوا نتفلكس ببلاش عادي والراجل لما زهق راح شغل الحاج متولي عادي وقعد يتفرج وبيقول لي انا دي 9 مرة اتفرج على الحاج متولي مشغله ليه طيب
That's therapy. That is their
That's
form of
therapy,
therapy.
yeah.
هو ده therapy في مصر.
انت عندك كام سنه دلوقتي؟
I'm 26.
انت ما بتتكسفش انك تقول كده 26
26.
تقول لي سنه واحده بس
Yeah. 26.
طب اقعد اعيط دلوقتي يلا يا جو
عيد ليه؟
26 سنه
رومان has issues.
انا عندي حاجات كتيره انا اللي هحتاج الثيرابي والدنتست
بس لو عندك حاجة وجعك في اسنانك؟
وانا لسه عندي يوم الثلاث الجاي مش هروح لك منفس ما انت كنت هنا كنت جيت لك فتره
يا عم come Memphis عادي. It's only 3 hours away.
بس
Yeah.
26 سنه طيب يعني انت دخلت عندك حوالي 21 سنه
To dental school?
دنتال سكول
Yes, 21, 22.
21 22
Yeah.
ما خفتش
طبعا it was
ما خفتش انك
أسافر؟
لا لسه هنيجي الموضوع من السفر دوت هتخرج عندي 26 سنه هتجوز امتى هو انت بس مستني كمان الجواز صغير بالنسبه لك
I thank God but I never thought about it that way because يعني it was gonna come يعني it was gonna come no matter what يعني ربنا يسهل. It was all gonna work out in the end, whether it's now whether it's later. يعني it's not my path to me to necessarily decide when it needs to happen or when it doesn't happen. يعني هو ربنا
ما خفتش من اللونز؟
مرتبها كده. The loans
انك تتخرج عندك ان اصل ده اللي بسمعه دايما، ده انا مش هخش ميديكال سكول او دنتال سكول او اي حاجه فيها الحاجات دي كلها
because of the loans.
عشان لما اخلص يبقى عندي 26 سنه وهبقى عندي مثلا $250,000 لون $500,000 لون الحاجات دي كلها.
لا ما at the end of the day يعني no one's asking you to pay these loans at once. No one's gonna tell you to pay these loans right now. You pay these loans يعني gradually. And طبعا even if it is a big number, and 250,000 by the way is on the lower end. يعني NYU right now is the first dental school where you can graduate with $1 million in loans.
So يعني you're thinking these student loans are not affecting you in any way.
No, I mean I live my life completely normal. طبعا right now I'm still deferred, meaning I'm not paying anything towards
But
my
the
loans.
interest is still acquiring.
The interest is still accruing طبعا.
بس
Actually no, it's within the first 6 months when I graduate it's not accruing. And طبعا because what's going on right now with يعني politics, it's not accruing any interest.
هو انتوا ممكن يخبطوكوا واحده forgiveness اللون اللي هي بتاعت
It's not going to happen. And even if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen for us.
انا اسمع انها 20 30
It's not going to happen for the people.
4 مليون.
No, they're not. It's going to happen for the يعني nothing high income. يعني they're not going to take it from the doctors, even though we love doctors so much. They're not going to take the loans away from the doctors because they're the ones that are paying it.
Yeah.
So they want them to pay their loans.
طيب هنرجع لموضوع اللونز تاني بس كمان شويه عشان هنتكلم في موضوع حاجه تانية، موضوع ممفيس دلوقتي.
Yeah.
انت خلصت ورحت ممفيس ليه ليه why didn't you go to Mehari ولا اي دنت سكول قريبه؟
So Tennessee, right at the time when I applied, Tennessee only had 2 dental schools, and it was Mehari and it was the University of Tennessee in Memphis. Right now, there's 3 dental schools. The third one opened up in Knoxville. At the time, that's what I had. I knew I wanted to stay, and I didn't. I also applied to states and other schools, yani Florida, Texas, and other things. Anywhere that I knew that I was going to be still close to a church and yani a Coptic community is where I was looking for. And in all honesty, I only got an interview from Memphis. I didn't get anything from Mehari. Ma Bernice Aslan, I didn't get an interview from them. Yeah, I didn't.
I thought it's more challenging to go to Memphis than Mehari.
Oh, it just happened that way. Sometimes it is, yani sometimes it's a different depending on the class sizes, and because it's a public university, it is cheaper than a private university like Mehari. So there is more. It's more sought after because it is financially better, especially for Tennessee residents. It's the cheapest option for Tennessee residents.
So you weren't planning on going يعني far يعني
I wanted
if you got Mehari كنت زمانك.
Yeah, if I got Mehari, I would have gone to
the
Mehari.
issue.
I got into, but like I said, I only got one interview, and that one interview.
You prefer to stay here or to go to Memphis? Back then
for dental school. Yeah, back then, like I said, the option never came to me to where I could make that decision. طبعا I always thought about what if I got accepted to both of them. طبعا my parents were like, we want you to stay close. We want you to stay close.
Yeah.
We want you to stay here with us in Mehari. But at the end of the day, I wanted to do what was going to be best for my future. And this is where I got accepted. So I wasn't going to like wait until the next year.
عشان just so you know why I'm asking all those questions عشان في ناس لسه إذا كانوا في high school أو لسه في the first 4 years of college لسه بيفكروا في الحاجات دي كلها. I want them to know يعني you've been there, you've done that.
And my message to them is your parents are going to support your success no matter what. But at the end of the day, they're your parents. So they want your safety. They are never going to feel comfortable unless you're right there next to them. But that's okay. Because there's going to come a time where you won't be next to them anymore. But if this is where God's willing for you to go and this is where the path is opened up, then that time will just come a little bit earlier. And so my parents kind of, they were always aware eventually one day I was going to get married, move out the house and all that. But it just happened earlier where
You think that's easier for you to say عشان you're a guy?
So it's actually really funny that you say that because the same thing happened to Miriam.
Yeah.
And Miriam actually, I'm going to brag about Miriam. Miriam got accepted to like 5 dental schools across the nation. She was doing really, really well. She got accepted to 5 schools across the nation, one of them being Mehari, and she got accepted to UT. Taban, it was a plus for us that we were going to get engaged and be together in Memphis and be able to come back together. I don't think there was a single time in the 2 years we were engaged that she drove by herself back and forth from Nashville.
قصدك تقول ان هي ما كانش تعرف تعمل كده لوحدها.
No, طبعا. She can do that. more and more كمان كده هتزعل من ده.
لا لا
No, of course you could do that بس I was happy that I could do that for her but if I wasn't there
she would have done it
she still would have done it
ايوه سهل
she still would have done it
my sister goes to UTK
exactly and so but you guys طبعا you feel the feeling يعني when she's driving by herself and you think about it يعني the idea of she's driving by herself and طبعا no you can only control your driving you can't control someone else's.
اختي بقالها this is the third year in UTK بقالها 3 سنين بتروح كل اسبوع اسبوعين ل UTK كل مره تبقى ماشيه من الباب دوت البيت كله يقعد يعيط 3 سنين كل اسبوع بنعيط ليه مش فاهم
طبعا it's just the feeling of someone.
Did you have the same thing
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah.
every single week
Yeah. Well, not
every single time
It got better.
It got better, and then when I got married, I think it got worse.
هو the reason I was asking على موضوع Uruguay يعني بتاع بس عشان you brought up موضوع الفاميليز يعني your parents are gonna support you anyway. ماشي that's a good point بس you think it's easier if you مثلا you or your sister ماشي if you go to your parents tell them hey I'm gonna go to Memphis for school especially in our Egyptian culture يعني عشان this topic is يعني gets brought up كتير.
It does.
You're a guy هتروح you need to go to school in Memphis it's far away 4 or 5 hours هتروح تعيش هناك. Your sister ممكن the reaction for her can be different.
It's a little bit different.
Yeah. عشان طبعا يعني we can agree هما they're worried about your safety but they can ensure and that you're gonna be more safe than her.
Yeah.
So this is why the difference in reaction.
That is true. Though that's true, and يعني طبعا and I'll give it from first-hand experience. And I've heard that at home. يعني طبعا my sister is برضو looking into يعني she's also looking into dentistry. And right now we're talking about يعني oh you're going to stay in Meharry or you're going to go to UT. Same idea. يعني and my mom's saying the same thing now. يعني she used to say it to me, but she's saying, "But you're different. You can take care." يعني that is the mentality and the culture that we have. But at the end of the day, you need to let your children be able to go out. طبعا I'm saying this from the perspective of someone who doesn't have kids yet, and I know that, and that's what all the parents will say. You don't have kids, so you don't feel it. But the way I see it, and the way I can one day imagine with my kids is, if I hold my son or my daughter back for that reason, am I really doing the best for them? Am I doing the best for them by holding them back from something, from pursuing yani, their dream, pursuing their career? And I'm not saying that they need to go out, yani, like you don't have to go very, very far. If there's options where you can be far, but still yani, a car drive away, 3 hours away or something, it's not right to limit them because yani, at the end of the day, our parents brought us here for this reason. Yani, my parents will always say, we gave up everything that we had, we sacrificed everything. Exactly.
كلهم بيقولوا نفس الكلام.
يعني we sacrificed, we all have the same. كلهم بيقولوا نفس الحاجة. We sacrificed everything for you guys.
هم داخلين من العطار بيديهم اسطوانة احفظوا الجمل دي.
في المطار they get that same.
انت عندكم عيال؟ طب خدوا الاسطوانة دي.
احنا ضحينا كل حاجة عشانكم ده مستقبلكم مش مستقبلنا.
ما هو لو عارفوا ان احنا الثلاثة
هنقعد
القعدة دلوقتي ما كان
في شبشب جايز بتقلصوا علينا ماشي. But yeah, that's the very thing that's what they sacrificed for us. So now it's the time to let us go out and branch and be able to do those things. And it's important to let your children do that. And I hear it all the time. I'll have moms come to me. They're like, "انت كنت في منفس صح؟ طب انت انا ابني دلوقتي مش عارف ايه." And they're like, "ايه طب منفس امان?" Yes, منفس امان. I've been there for 5 years. امان. It's يعني
لا استنى بسمع ان كل شويه في ضرب نار.
You hear that stuff, but it's a smaller city, so it happens. It's localized. If you go to downtown Nashville, مش هتشوف نفس the same thing that happens. ضرب نار وكل الكلام ده. It's just a small city. So Nashville's bigger, so it's more spread out. طبعا the media makes it seem like it's. Trust me, knock on wood. I've been in Memphis for 5 years, and thank God. ده مش بس يا عم كده wood بقى. كده أي خشب.
knock on wood هتخبط على بلاستيك. خبط عليه.
Thank God يعني 5 years and يعني nothing's happened. My car did get stolen. But it was actually. أمان. I wasn't there. It was actually I traveled one weekend to Dallas, Texas with the guys to go see Abuna Titus. I came back from that weekend, my car was gone. And it was actually on school property.
Are you sure it's not towed?
No, it was gone. They found it. So they found it after a week and it was crashed they had smoked in it and they did
بس منفس
بس
امان
بس منفس امان
بس منفس امان
بس منفس امان I promise you امان يعني things like
انا
that
عشان
happen.
افتكر حاجه دلوقتي انا مره واحد صاحبي اتخطف بس منفس امان
بس لا ده no
بعد اسبوع برضه
but yeah I mean يعني things like that happen but that can happen anywhere. I know people here their cars have gotten stolen in Antioch.
عشان عندنا دوت برضه
Yes, exactly. And they'll break into cars and they'll do all that. So it's everywhere. Yani. But if you mind your own business, me and Miriam, we go out, we have fun, we go to yani, basketball games, we go out to eat, we go to the parks, we go wherever we want to go. And we have never once felt like we can't do that or we can't enjoy that. So it's safe. And actually we host all the youth over at our house and they'll come over and all the people, we've heard it many times, people like, I was so scared to come to Memphis, but like I really enjoy it here. I like it more than Nashville. And I would say the same thing too. I enjoy it.
I've lived in Cookville. I like it more than Nashville.
Exactly. Because you feel like when you're on your own and you're independent, you feel the sense of like I'm an adult. Yani I get to أنا بسستم يومي the way I need to and the way I want to. There's something important about that.
I miss good old days لما كنت عايش لوحدي.
لا ما تقولش بقى. شبشب برضه. But يعني really يعني it's part of adulthood. يعني when we learn that at an earlier age, it really does give us. يعني it definitely helped me يعني in my marriage. It definitely helped me in يعني to be independent and to take
responsibility.
Exactly the responsibility to take care of a house and know what needs to be taken care of. So let your kids go out. Let them branch out. It's يعني they're not going عشان يبقوا فشلة يعني they're going to become doctors.
طب دلوقتي you're still in Memphis?
I am still in Memphis. So Miriam's in her 3rd year of dental school. And so طبعا we're married and I want to be with her. So يعني I'm living at least for the next 2 years until she graduates. طبعا we've had the discussions يعني because يعني I'm very happy in the position that I'm in and I'm happy with the mentorship that I have. I have an Egyptian dentist and a Syrian dentist who are the owners of that practice who who are great mentors to me. And anything I'm stuck in, anything I want to ask about, whether that's business, dentistry, life, any aspect, I can go talk to them. And so I'm very happy with the mentorship I'm receiving there. And so we've talked about even staying in Memphis. Yani we enjoy it. We serve in Sunday school at the church there. We've become part of the community. And thank God, yani God's allowed us to have a home away from our theoretical home. And we're so grateful for that.
فاكر لما قلت لك ان احنا نرجع لسنين اللونز؟ ده وقتها بقى ان احنا نرجع لسنين اللونز. الموضوع مؤذي يعني انا اعرف ناس عندها ستودنت لون $3000 مش عارفين يدفعوا لغايه دلوقتي ده عنده 4 مليون لا مش قصدي حاجه وحشه دونت تيك مي رونج وراح تتجوز واحده عليها 4 مليون تاني
يا $500,000
يعني انتوا مش قصدي حاجه وحشه برضه
هنلبس
انتوا بادئين حياتكم ب $500,000 ان ديت
and obviously you don't care.
No, I mean that's the
بشوف مين اللي هيدفعهم.
That's the thing. That's the way I look at it. يعني with all due respect, وبعد الشر يعني student loans don't get passed down to your wife if you pass away. Yani God forbid. They don't get passed down to your kids when you pass away. Once you pass away, they're just gone. And even then, there's different save plans and things like that. Where after 25 years, the loans all just disappear anyway.
Okay, big disagreements. So
okay,
many disagreements. Let's start from them. Okay.
One last thing I want to say. Also, if I want to go take out a loan from a bank or take out a loan for a car, banks do not care how much student loans that I have. They don't even care if it's accruing interest. Why? Because they know that you're making a good income and they're going to give you the loan that you ask for, whether for a dental practice, whether for a home, whether for investment properties. They know you make money, so they don't care.
I think they give you برضو the debt علشان you already. This is their way of making money.
Yes, 100%.
I don't think it's right when you're saying that you're trying to outsmart them. I don't think you can.
I'm not outsmarting them. I'm just not giving them what they want.
But you're gonna end up paying them.
I paid in my taxes, and I am still paying towards. I'm not gonna not pay my loans at all. Of course, I'm gonna pay my loans. I'm gonna pay the minimum to where I set up the plan where you pay the minimum to where that you're not in default. You're not getting penalized for paying anything. You pay the minimum, and then the extra money that you have. Say my interest rate on my student loans is 6 or 7%. If whatever I invest in, if I can get more than a 6 or 7% return on investment, then
which is very hard.
Yes, of course, it's very hard. I'm not going to say that and I can just turn around and make that.
Yeah.
But if you are moving steps towards making that, you're gaining. Say it's rental properties. You're gaining your equity. Say it's a dental office. any private dental office is going to be making thank God millions, so you will make that money back, and so I think it's a good return on investment.
Okay, ماشي. I see your point, but at the same time, بص, I'm a very Dave Ramsey fan.
Okay.
And I watch Dave Ramsey.
Dave Ramsey also says you need to have 10
times
times the amount of the car you want to buy in cash.
بص هو بيقول لك على حاجات it works يعني if you think about it it works.
Right. Yeah, يعني he has
يعني لما يقول لك
That's great, but like who say you want to go buy a car for 50,000 and it's not even that high. $50,000 car. I need to have $500,000 to go buy a $50,000 car.
No, man, and if you don't make $500,000, you can't afford a $50,000.
Yes, you can. A $50,000 you can make much less than that.
This is his point of view. Like
you can afford بس الفكرة كلها
you can afford it بس انت
هو بيتكلم على
financial
a healthy financial person مش هيعمل الموضوع ده ان هو يروح مثلا يكون بياخد في السنة بس 100,000 ويروح يحط مثلا 60,000 في العربية.
But you're not going to put it at one time. طبعا say you put a down payment. You get it down to where it's a reasonable monthly payment. طبعا you are going to pay a little bit more towards interest, but it's about what you make.
Dave Ramsey, if you know his backstory, هو كان غرقان في الدت.
Yeah.
تمام وهيز debt free دلوقتي ف he has حته كده فيه اللي هو البريفنتيشن ان هو انا عايز الناس كلها تخلي بالها علشان الباد هابتس دي كوميونيكيت وبعد كده حاجات كتير
That's true and I'm not saying that يعني the way that I'm talking
يعني هو بس بيقول لك موضوع انك تشتري بيت احنا كمصريين احنا نشتري بيت قبل ما نتجوز دول اللي عندهم يقول لك لا ما تشتريش بيت غير بعد 40 50 سنه.
But what's he doing in the meantime?
renting. ما he think ما اعرفش ازاي او
ما that doesn't make sense.
No بس he برضه he says ان المورجج is a good debt, is a kind of a good debt. اللي هو يعني yes try to eliminate all other debts ما عدا المورجج from the beginning. بس أنا what I'm saying is أنت عندك دلوقتي like combined عشان you guys are married ف you have a $500,000 in debt. لو احنا قلنا مثلا 6-7% this is يعني once it starts acquiring interest which I think it's يعني المفروض it started بس هو يعني you're saying it didn't list.
At least
whenever it starts yeah it's gonna be like يعني it's gonna increase يعني
by the thousands per month
in like all 8,000 10,000 I don't know if I'm doing the math right but it's like a huge number every month. انت فاهم ازاي so يعني برضه it's still a burden, it's still a payment that you're paying and طبعا لما انت تيجي تقول انا ممكن اخد الفلوس دي احطها هنا مثلا high yield savings account or something that would give me a high interest ماشي بس this يعني
it's
doesn't
still not
always work.
it's still not going to go.
It's a very high risk and يعني it's not يعني the best way forward.
It sounds great on paper.
Technically,
exactly and that's exactly what I'm saying, that you can take this mentality and go really really wrong in credit card debt and you just keep acquiring debt, but at the same time if it's done right or it's done at a slow gradual, and that's why I also believe in having a financial planner and someone that you can talk to. My financial planner is Ramon Yusuf, by the way. Shout out Ramon Yusuf. But but if you do it in a smart way, say for example you talk about the high yield savings account, that's most of them right now are sitting about 4%, 4.5%. That's just that money already where you can just put it in that, and that's a guaranteed percentage. I'm sorry. A guaranteed percentage. Now, find other returns on investment, whether you do a Roth IRA or whether you put it into real estate. I think real estate is the best investment that you can have, whether that's rental properties or even just owning land and owning plaza. Like I said, none of this happens overnight. Just like you say, for you to get to the point of Dave Ramsey where I have 10 times the amount before I buy a car, that doesn't happen overnight. To save مبلغ $500,000, and that's just to buy a car. We're not even talking about how much you need to buy a house, even though you said it's a good debt. I view student loans as a good debt برضو, because this is an investment. Me going to school for this many years and us going and getting this education, it's an investment. It's an investment in ourselves, because all I have at this point after I graduate is my hands and what's up here. This is what I have to work on.
It's eating your income.
It's eating your income to pay these loans.
Oh, but since you said you're just gonna pay the minimum.
That's what I'm saying. You pay the minimum.
It's gonna
you just keep growing. Let it keep growing.
So you're just طب ما okay well, let's disagree on this.
That's fine.
I personally يعني my personal يعني stance is ان انا I hate that. I don't want to get into that. علشان like زي ما هو بيقول difference اللي هو بيقول لك your income is انا كده بحس ان بعمله ادفرتايز.
لا سيبك كده انت تقول I hate that و I don't want to get into that. متاكد من الموضوع دوت؟ انت you're walking
you're about to get married.
I know.
Marriage is dead.
You're talking about marriage ولا
I'm talking about any.
انا بتكلم عن انت خطيبتك فيه ايه؟
yes ما هي here's what يعني my fiance is a PA and she's
مبروك يا خالد عشان
مبروك
الله يخليك.
Was that happened in season 1 season 2
لا كان في البريك. احنا خدنا بريك سنه عشان كروز كان بيعمل proposal.
anyways ما برضو she's finishing school with 100+ K in students and my way of doing but here's the thing the way to handle this from my view is as fast as you can.
تتجوزش
لا انت the only way to do this اساسا the thing is when you get married
you make that joke about preventation. I've heard people.
كنت عايز اتكلم في الموضوع بس
Yeah, there are people that say يعني I'm not going to go to something like medical school or dental school or something that I'm going to acquire debt because of how much loans I'm going to have after.
When I started this topic I was like
you want to talk about the prevention but that's such a wrong mentality because if you always think about I'm going to limit myself because of this theoretical money that I owe, then you're always going to be limiting yourself and what you can do. Yani, for example, say, and if I want to open up a business, I have to take out loans to open up this business.
It's a risk.
It's a risk. Everything's a calculated risk. And so, yani, there are smart risks and there are dumb risks.
Oh yeah, I agree with you. I'm not gonna say I don't say مثلا هتخش like PA school or dental school and you're gonna have a bunch of debt. That means forget about what you're feeling. Don't go to these kind of schools. No, طبعا go. And obviously, the risk you're taking so much debt, your income is gonna be at least above it بشوية, above that debt. I think my way to solve this, once you start working after you get your degree, you're going against that debt with vengeance.
You can.
Take 2-3 years. Most of 80% of your income going through that debt. And you're living off money.
80% of your income is.
And when you get married, here's the thing: when you get married, you have 2 incomes. You're a team, and this is the point of marriage. صح? You're working together. Your debts is my debt.
Yes.
My income, my income. والحاجات دي كلها. So I think it's doable to live مثلا on one person's income until one person finishes.
It is.
And I think after you work through finishing that debt, it's gonna leave so much burden off your shoulder. You feel more free. This is my point of view. طبعا
I do see it. I would love to pay off my student loans in full. I would love to one day. And maybe one day the mentality changes when you say, like I said, I have a second income and it's supporting me. But right now when I see it, I think that this is because we have plans. We want to have one day be able to build a practice, whenever we'll be able to get our dream home and all these things. I think right now we're looking to save, be able to save and to make sure our money is making us money to be able to use it for what we want to use it for. Like I said, I know some very, very successful business people that also have the same mentality that you say. Someone I'm very close, like I said, one of my mentors, he's all about do not buy it if you don't have the cash for it. Don't take out loans. Don't take out loans. If you have the cash for it, then you can buy it. But it's that's a different mentality that people have.
أنا وكرولوس إن شاء الله كمان 10 سنين هنفتح عيادة. مش عارفين لسه هنسميها ايه ولا ايه البراكتس بالظبط اللي هنعمله بس انا خطبته PA وانا ان شاء الله اشوف لاي حد يكون دكتور بقى.
I think Ramon mentioned, was it during his podcast, that he wants to have like a medical hospital of all the different specialties and doctors and lawyers.
هنجيبك انت والمدام تشتغل معانا.
حبيبي
هتخش بفلوس مش بالاداء
بس كمان مش بالمحبه.
لا بزنس
ماشي. يلا let's wrap up.
نعمل بودكاست روم في المستشفى دي ولا فوقك من الموضوع؟
ممكن برضه
سيزون 22
هنفتحها مالتي تاسك بيلدينج. طيب
let's move on.
يعني انت مش خايف من الموضوع ان انت عندك $250,000 in debt, she has $250,000 debt and you still went for it.
ربنا موجود. It's gonna get paid off no matter what.
ربنا موجود وكل حاجه بس يلا شوف مش
هو ربنا
مش ربنا اللي هيدفع.
Either way it's all gonna get figured out. when I look at it, like I said, this was an investment in ourselves. All we have now is our hands and our minds. Okay, we lose those, then we're then we can start worrying.
عمال الشر عليك.
بعد الشر.
طيب
نوك وود.
ناكل وود قلنا بلاستيك.
اللي احنا we found out it is wood.
The step of taking marriage after graduation. ليه وليه بقى انا مش عارف اقولها ولا لا. ولا عادي. 26 is a little bit early because you just graduated.
Yeah.
I mean 26 if you graduated 4 years ago would have been perfect. تمام. ما
no يعني no يعني in general ولا are you talking for their situation مثلا؟
انا كل مره بتشتم بسبب الموضوع ده.
مين بيشتمك يا عم ليه بس؟
في ناس كتير بتيجي تقول فاكر فكرك وحش.
لا انا مش هفتح. Go ahead.
طيب this is not my point of view, this is the XYZ البني ادم الوحش اللي بعيد. ده راي توني.
Tony's our scapegoat.
توني هو اللي قال لي الكلام ده فانا جايبه لك دلوقتي.
انا شايل الكلام ده
دلوقتي when you get يعني why usually يعني the مش هقول stereotype بس يعني in ideal world بيقول لك getting married at 27 28 29 30 that's a good age to get married عشان انت خلاص حققت نفسك.
Okay.
you saved up enough money ان انت تعيش في بيت او انك تعيش في whatever يعني انت you're financially stable ان انت تتجوز عشان بقالك 4 سنين 5 سنين you have a real job وشغال.
Yeah.
تمام. you just graduated last year. تمام. why did you decide to take the step right now, especially she's not done school yet.
I think that is exactly like you said. يعني برضو I get to support her يعني in the sense that she's still in school and then she's still studying and she's still going to clinic and everything. I get to support her by doing that. And at the step where we could have gotten married before I was even done. And that Americans do it all the time. And we would see it all the time in our classes that they'll get married before they're even done and they're just living off of student loans. That's where I was like, okay, مش هزودها قوي كده يعني.
أنا أعرف ناس سمعت عنهم اللي هم بيروحوا Americans when they go to school they take money over their debt عشان يتجوزوا بيها. You have to. يعني for example they take money out to live. يعني these people that go and they're يعني. طب ما ده كروس هيصوت لو.
Yeah. No,
يعني
I don't think
my $250,000 is without any living expenses. يعني that other people buy. Huh?
You're taking out money for living.
No, that's what I'm saying. That was without any living expenses. يعني I was able to take care of that, thank God. But all these other people, they have to take out money to live. Yani all the rent that they were paying, and I was paying, say you're paying $1,000 in rent. They were taking out government money to pay that rent. They were taking out government money to pay for their loans. I mean, to pay for their groceries, to pay for their trips, for their gas.
It's probably going to go around $500,000.
Yes, exactly. And even more, to pay for all this. But like I said, I didn't want to do that in terms of to be living off of student debt off of loans because I wanted us to be a little bit more free. Yes, it was maybe a little bit difficult in the transition from student to doctor, and because income obviously changes.
Yeah.
But it was a good step because I knew that even though it wasn't financially, it may not have been أنا كونت نفسي and after 4 years, I was able to support, but in different ways. I got to be there for her during this time where I didn't have to wait until she was done to get married and to be able to support her. I get to be there for her, through and through in everything that we're doing. So I waited until I was financially, at least I had a financial plan in front of me, meaning that I knew I was going to be making a certain income. And even then, like I said, we talked about it, it's a commission thing. I don't have a guaranteed income. I make whatever I produce from what I produce.
So it's not like base bucket.
No. So some practices and some offices will do a base. You get X amount a day.
Add every
and then
patient.
if you make over you get like a percentage of it. No, I'm fully percentage. I'm fully percentage. And thank God it's been successful. I like it that way because at the end of the day, once you have your own business, your own practice, that's how it's going to be as well too, because that's how any business is. It's you produce, that's what you get.
برضو في ناس كتير تقلق من الناحيه دي. انا ممكن ابقى في I was in your situation انا كنت اخاف جدا ان انا اخد خطوه ان انا اخد الخطوه ديت وانا مش عارف اي حاجه. انت kind of not literally او انت ممكن تكون have a way different point of view than me. You're walking on a very thin layer. انت في اي لحظه ممكن financially كل حاجه تبوظ.
But that's in any situation.
anyone. والله شجاعة منك
والله. After 4 years, say for example, I saved X amount of money, and then we decide to get married. Then, ما برضو marriage is hard no matter what, and marriage is gonna be a big step no matter what. So you can have all the money in the world, but still be on thin layer. Are you talking about a financial يعني trampoline to catch you, the financial net. Yeah, that's one aspect of it though. That's one aspect of it though. But I was able to thank God provide in the other aspects. And so the financial aspect, we were gonna figure it out. We were gonna make it work. Thank God I had savings.
أنا من الأفلام والمسلسلات مأكدين لي إن الجواز فلوس بس.
لا الجواز مش فلوس.
الراجل بيخش بجيبه.
ده مين اللي قال لك كده؟
كان في فيلم المسلسل قال لك الراجل ما يعوش غير جيبه مبدئيا.
ده مصر كلها.
حرام. That's why they feel like in Egypt they can't get married.
نسبة الطلاق في مصر بقت صعبة قوي دلوقتي.
Yes, it is, and it's very sad. Because that's the mentality. It's if it's a business mentality and أنا مشتريكي ومش عارف إيه. Yeah, that stuff.
ده مش كلام حب؟
لا مش كلام حب.
أنا كنت فاكر إن ده كلام حب اللي هو أنا مشتريكي.
فاكر رحنا السندوتشات والترمس.
دافع فلوس كتير قوي.
اللي أنا جبته لك.
الدباديب.
واللي في بطنك.
دباديب، ورد، chocolates, gifts.
يعني ربي عارف.
خليك romantic. You need to be romantic. At the end of the day, that's all you're gonna have is each other. At the end of the day, so even if you splurge a little bit, on your wife, that's all you have. All you have is your wife, and the support that she gives back to you.
يا العقل.
If she steps out. Marriage is كله تطبيل. Marriage is hard. Marriage is very hard. If you think about it like this, I'm working. My wife school all day, or my wife one day work all day. We come home, we have 3 hours, 4 hours to spend with each other, and then we sleep and do the same thing the next day.
That's one of the questions was how is it living with a dentist that is the same as your practice? Is it that hard?
نروح الشغل مع بعض نرجع مع بعض.
It's so we've actually talked about if one day if that's something that we do. So at first we talked about it. We're like, no, I don't know. Before we got married, actually, we used to say this. I don't know if we'd be able to do that. Coming and going, and people seeing us in the marriage dynamic at work and stuff. And if we ever do have a bad day, what are they? No, but now that we're actually in it, we always find ourselves coming home. The first thing that we do, while we're cooking together or whatever, we're talking about our days. We're talking about what I did. We're talking about our day. She tells me about her patients. I tell her about my patients. I tell her about the patients that made me mad, the patients that made her mad. We get to talk about these things together. And then خلاص, we disconnect and then we just go about our life.
هقول لك ليه انت برنس. انا قلت لك انت برنس بس ما قلتلكش ليه. عشان انت عملت لنا الترانزيشن بتاعنا للتوبيك اللي بعديه.
يا ابني انا معاك.
باوندريز. احنا سيزون 1 كان عندنا المسألة لكل جاست واتس ميسنج. انت لسه جيت متاخر كده ما حدش كان بيجاوب.
I found what's missing.
يا ولا انا بيجي لي
butterflies.
لا بيجي لي مغص.
حموضه
من كتر العافيه.
بيجي لي مغص في الكلام ده.
امير تحب تسال ولا نسال؟
نساله مع بعض. اصل هو
دلوقتي امير what are the boundaries that you set up for yourself and for your family and for the friends and everyone? احكي لنا
in general what is boundaries for you?
What when we talked about boundaries, or when we talk about boundaries I feel like have been set by what society wants them to be. What society tells you these boundaries need to be. Like when you talk about going to Memphis, how could you leave the family and leave the friends and go live in Memphis and study in Memphis and even potentially choose on your own to live more in Memphis? The boundaries are you shouldn't do that. If you have to leave, you come back. But no, at the end of the day, the only thing that we have, the boundaries that we set are for each other and for our marriage and for our growth. And طبعا within what God permits for us. We set boundaries as in when you talk about like when we come home, yes, we talk about dentistry for a little bit because that is the commonality between us. And then خلاص, at some point we don't want to talk about dentistry anymore. We want to talk about each other just in general, about your day and about how you're feeling and about what you're looking forward to in this next day, and even things about us. What can we do better to be each other? We talk about it just like a married couple, literally just like a married couple. What do you want to make tomorrow? What do you want to eat tomorrow? What should we, where do you want to go? Do you want to go out tomorrow? Different things like that we talk about. You have to be able to disconnect from work. Like I said, you come home, you have maybe 3-4 hours. And ever since I got married, I'm sleeping at 9:30. خلاص, yawning. I'm ready to sleep. you no one did that when we were
عيني
in
يا
college.
بنتي ده ممل جدا ايه ده؟
Yeah, she is too. Exactly.
مملين جدا ايه ده؟
That's what I'm saying. You're an old married couple. That's how we feel.
انت متجوزين قد ايه دلوقتي؟
A little over 3 months. This month it'll be, and actually in a few days it's gonna be 4 months.
طب حلو لسه
I remember.
حلاوة البدايات. ايه ده انتوا عاملين monthly anniversaries كده؟
يعني we try to we try to go out for dinner.
لا حول الله.
رمون عنده مغص قوي والحاجات دي.
حمود.
لا لا بهزر. got very cute.
Demure. So we get يعني we try يعني you celebrate these little things, but outside of that, we only have 3-4 hours. If I'm gonna يعني marriage is hard. I need to come home, and it doesn't matter what my day looked like. If I can't be the best version of myself, يعني for my wife, we suffer in those 4 hours. Yani you only have 4 hours to give your wife the best part of her day, or for her to do the same exact thing for me. So if I can't come home and be that, then it's a slow decline. And now imagine when you throw kids into the mix.
انا عجبني حاجه ان انت بتتكلم from her point of view. تمام. هو the question was your point of view. It shows so much selflessness. عارف انت راجل جميل
حبيبي
سيبك من اللي احنا قلناه ده. انا عايز الباوندريز ليك انت دلوقتي كبني ادم تمام. You just got married 3 months ago 4 months ago. Before that and after and now what kind of boundaries يعني مثلا هديك مثلا انت كنت عايش لوحدك في منفس قبل مريم
لا I was living with Ramon. He's my roommate.
لا حول الله.
Very important.
Very great transition.
I had to. Let's go ahead. He was my roommate, and now I have a new roommate. He tells her all the time. He goes, "I was the best roommate Amir ever had."
دلوقتي عيلتك في ناشفيل بيكلموك.
Yes.
Every single day, morning and night. There's no boundaries.
لا
friends. ما this is the kind of boundaries.
No, طبعا you set these boundaries. يعني for example, I love my family to death, and I love. and I love my sisters to death, and we'll talk and everything. But طبعا there's boundaries. يعني they know that the time that I get to spend with my wife is limited. يعني it's a limited amount of time. So يعني يعني طبعا they look at that, and it's been a transition. As in, they could call me anytime that they wanted to before, and now I still try to we still try to make our families feel that they can call us anytime that they want. But they from themselves know that there's a respect of boundaries that we need to have for them. They may be getting ready to go to sleep, or they may be making dinner right now, or oh, we know that they're out today or something like that. That's one thing that they talk to you a lot about in the premarital class, is that at the end of the day, we of course allow them in because they're a family and we love them to death, and everything we owe it to them for what they've sacrificed for us. But at the end of the day, it's me and my wife, and that's going to be the most important thing, because at the end of the day, we're only going to have each other. That's who you owe everything to now. That is, you always talk about your immediate family. Before marriage, your immediate family, your mom, your dad, your siblings. You get married, instantly your immediate family changes to your wife and then your kids.
Do you think all الكلام ده حلو جميل. Do you think these things you have to work towards building them?
طبعا.
ولا you think from like a healthy kind of family these things are supposed to be
and I'm not going to say that a healthy family or unhealthy family. No, that's not right, because it's a transition for everyone. It's going to be a transition no matter what. Someone that you raised in front of you your entire life, now in an hour during a ceremony, خلاص is with someone else. And when you hear the kalam of the wedding ceremony, it's beautiful, but kalam يجرح. You leave your father's house and to be joined with your husband, and now you obey them and he obeys. كلام يجرح. كلام when you hear it as a parent يأثر طبعا. But now, so it's not. I'm not gonna say it's an easy transition. Yes, of course you have to build, and you build on this. But how you build better? How do you do?
How do you if you're in a situations like hey, someone is actually stepping on my boundaries. How do you start building them before? Do you start building? Okay, let's start from. I have like 5 questions.
Go ahead.
First question is, how do you start from it? Building these boundaries before marriage, or do you start right at church أول ما تتجوز, ولا do you ولا is that like a transition of ولا like a steps of building these boundaries؟
لا
هذا
هو
السؤال هذا السؤال
فين السؤال؟
no, I got it good. So like there, yani, I can't say that. Okay, now we're gonna set these boundaries as we're engaged. No, man, that's not right. Yani, for anyone, for either me or her to come say these are the boundaries that we're setting now because we're engaged. لا طبعا when you're still engaged, مش تحت ذمة بعض. You're under someone else's responsibility, and so there's still respect in that matter. But that respect, that now it transitions even into marriage. But now the priority is each other. Meaning she is my priority now and I'm her priority now. So though we love our families to death, but do we set these boundaries with, like you said, as a slow transition? Meaning like if I used to talk to my mom for an hour at a time, and I slowly transition it. And also I try to, in my conversations, I will be including Miriam in my conversations, and so that it doesn't feel like I'm talking to you only. That I feel like I'm not talking, that she's not talking just to me, but she's talking to us, and vice versa. That when I'm talking, that she's talking to her family, I'm talking to them as well too. That they're talking to us, so that we are a unit. That they don't see أنا بكلم بنتي لوحدها or أنا بكلم ابني لوحده. No, إحنا بنكلم عيالنا. We're talking to our children. That is one way that we found very helpful to make that transition. And I think it's a very healthy way to go about it. I never want to say that this only happens in healthy families or parents who have this mentality. No, that's not right to say, because like I said, it is a huge transition for anyone. For any parent who loves their children is going to feel that same way. Yeah. So, but these boundaries, you set them as, if anything, I firmly believe if boundaries are set with respect and love, then no one will want to cross them. It may happen by accident, but no one will want to cross them if they're set with mahabba and with respect.
So not by control.
Yes,
by,
if you look at it as a dictatorship, it's going to get a dictatorship response.
So what is
like
the point? ما حكينا كله باك انسرز انا لاف ات ده عشان الناس تسمعه وحلو. عايزين بقى الحاجات الجوسي. ايه اللاين اللي انت تحس دلوقتي برضو الباوندريز بتوين يو، يعني انت عاجبني ان انت تتكلم من you guys as a couple
we're one
ضد الناس. انا عايز
us against the world.
exactly. انا عايز انتوا against each other.
and against each other. Let's see boundaries. يعني Miriam's still studying. Okay, so طبعا when I come home, she's my best friend. I want to spend all the time with her. I want to talk to her and I want to hang out with her. I want to.
Selfless قوي برضه بيتكلم عليها هي.
But there are times you said between us.
أيوة, that's her boundaries.
My boundaries. Okay, when I'm playing PlayStation, hey.
بتلعب بلاي ستيشن أمير؟
I try to. I got it.
ممكن تقول الكلام ده في الكاميرا عشان بابا مقتنع إن أنا.
It's okay to play PlayStation.
دكتور سنان ومتجوز ومراته موجودة في البيت ويلعب بلاي ستيشن.
She wants me to leave her alone so she can study. That's what I was going to. That we make these boundaries, yani, for each other. There was one time I remember, yani, like I hadn't gone out like just me and guys like after we had gotten married, and so there was someone who was telling me, hey man, come hang out, I'm trying to fit in Memphis, and I was like, I don't know if and I was like, she was like, go hang out with friends. So I don't want to go hang out with friends. Yeah, it's like she's, yani, you have to encourage each other to give each other that individual time. Though we are, yani, my best friend, and everything that we do, I want to do it together, and everything that we do, I don't enjoy it as much as I'm with her. But at the end of the day, you برضو allow each other that space, but not space as in I need a break from you. No, it's space, and even a priest, a father of confession has told me this before. You allow space to miss each other. You allow room to be able to come back to each other and like see each other for the first time, kind of thing. يعني بجد يعني that's actually something that you have to live, knock on wood, that you really have to live by, because يعني I said those are the boundaries that you never, like you said, we talked about the dictatorship. It doesn't have to be I need this amount of time when I wake up in the morning ما تكلمنيش and make me a cup of coffee and then don't talk to, no ما طبعا ما فيش حاجة اسمها كده يعني, but it's like you feel the other person in front of you, even when the person is not in their best, when I'm not my, even if we say it's supposed to be 50-50, if I'm not my 50 and I'm less, she can feel that the other part of the 60, the 70, and I do the same.
So what do you do when you feel that someone دي عادي مريم أهلك أي حد your friends cross their boundaries?
cross boundaries better, like I said, if you handle it in a loving way. Yani with my wife, we talk about it. We sit down, we talk about it. Like, I didn't like this, or she tells me I didn't like this. Family better, like yani برضو you do the same thing. Or sometimes, يعني برضو a father of confession had told us, yani sometimes it's okay. Yani they may say stuff, they may say something to you. It's okay. You take it, you absorb it with love, and then you just just let it go. If it wasn't anything that directly hurt the other person or directly yani like disrespected or anything like that, then خلاص, it's okay to absorb it and just allow it be.
So you said let it go.
Mm-hmm.
ده زي ان احنا نكنس تحت السجاده.
No, you don't. So here's the thing. لما تكنس الحاجة تحت السجادة, you forget about it and it will come back.
عامل زي البالونه.
Exactly. It's gonna come back later. You take steps better to handle it and to not allow it to be something that comes later on better, because there needs to be some sort of change. You may not say the same thing, and for example, if a parent crosses a boundary, this hasn't happened to us or anything, but if say a parent crosses a boundary, you don't say anything specifically. You may absorb it and let it go, but now you don't create the same situation the next time for them to be able to say something like that again. You control the situation, but you allow, like I said, boundaries are what you make them. And if you do it in a loving way.
I don't see it that way. لأن في حاجات في حاجات I set up with my friends, with my family, and sometimes it does happen that they cross it. فأنت بتقول I will try to make the situation هم they don't cross it again.
And for example, if there's a controversial topic that maybe you and your friends, you don't like when they talk about in front of you. Okay, you don't allow the situation again to go to that conversation, or if it does find its way to that same topic, you can respectfully pull yourself out of it. I don't want to be part of this conversation. That's a boundary. That's not saying جماعة from now on يعني خط أحمر, we don't talk about. No, you don't have to do it that way, because it may be taken in a negative way, even though it is your حقك برضو to make those boundaries. But if you expel yourself from that situation, that's a way to make boundaries in a loving way, in a way, in a peaceful way. Like I said, within marriage, you give each other the time that they need. You give each other the space that you need, but not because of any bad reason, but because it's okay to have that difference in life, to be able to change it up. Like I said, she's studying, I give her space. If I'm on a work meeting, after work, she'll allow me that space. And then at the end of the day, you come and you make that time for each other again.
عاجبني اول كابل ده ربنا كل وقتهم لبعض مش مستريح يعني حاجه
كلامه حلو.
It's so limited. It's so limited. It's so limited.
ليه ما تعملش برنامج زي
انا هعمل بودكاست على فكره.
لا زي اسامه منير كده حاجه كده فيها سنس
كده بقى. it's gonna go to my head. I'm gonna make my own podcast.
يا عم يلا في منفس.
في منفس بقى نقعد ننافس بعض.
لما رحت للدكتور سنان فبيقول لي you need to do better job at flossing every day و twice a day ما اعرفش وبتاع. فهي recommended بتاع كده ب $190.
water pick.
لا فرشة سنان عادي. فرشة سنان اسمها water pick.
Are you talking about المية اللي بتعمل فلوس دي ما بين السنان؟
فرشة سنان عادية. قال لي دي حلوة جدا. طبعا انا شفت 190 قلت مستحيل اجيبها, بس يعني فضلت اسمعها. اجيب 190 اجيب فرشه سنان $190.
Okay, I'm gonna be honest with you. You don't have to get the $190 toothbrush. An electric toothbrush طبعا is good, even if it's the $20 one.
بيقول لي دي فيها بلوتوث ما اعرفش ليه.
Yeah, we have one of those. They gave it to us for free at school.
بيقول لي has a timer 2 minutes. برضه مش عارف يعني مع التليفون اصلا معايا فيه مش فاهم. وتقعد تلف كده في السن. بيقول لك عشان انت لما تيجي تلف ايديك you might do it wrong. فهي بتعملها صح.
It does the motion for you. Also, the one thing that the toothbrush does, if you put too much pressure, it like lights up to let you know that you're brushing, because you can brush too hard.
قال لي في هنا النور بيطلع لونه اخضر او احمر. if you press too hard, if too much pressure اللون الاحمر هيطلع. لو ما اعرفش ايه هيبقى لون اصفر. قعد يقول لي كده حاجات. قلت له انت ناس فاضيه بامانه ربنا, انت ناس فاضيه.
He needs to pay off his loans. And he goes, and we sell it here at the office.
قال لي كده, قال لي لما تطلع
بره 10% discount.
قال لي لما نطلع بره بسالهم في الريسبشن هيدوك very good discount ماشي وبتاع.
سلام.
انا عرفت في الاخر ان هو اصل هو انا عرفت في الاخر ان هو بياخد نسبه من ايه. قال لي put my name. قلت له تمام فهمتك.
لا see, I won't even tell patients that. And for example, if I have patients that I know they grind at night, I'll just go tell them, look, you can get a night guard here made in our lab for $300, or you can go to Walgreens and get you a night guard. Nice, get a night guard for $20.
انت بتقول انا
Really?
Yes,
You can do that?
Yes طبعا. And there you go. I ruined night guards for all dentists.
ايه نايت جاردز
night guard يعني for example حاجة تلبسها كده بالليل so you don't grind your teeth عشان طبعا grinding your teeth.
صاحبي دراع مراتك راح
انت عارف الحاجات دي كلها
صباعك راح فين
عارف انا عارف الحاجات دي كلها منين. My sister is in dental hygiene program. So يعني كل she got this electric water floss.
Yeah, it's great.
And she was like بتقول لي بقى على النايت جاردز وبتاع هي بتحكي لي
And you can find ways to get it. Exactly. بس الحاجات دي يعني
فلوس حرام لما ارمي فلوسي في الحاجات
you don't need the $100 $190 one. Like I said, an electric toothbrush is great. It does the work for you. But if you can do it right and get all surfaces of your teeth at a 45-degree angle with an extra soft toothbrush.
الناس هيعيط يعني لو كانوا 40 مش 45. ما بقول لك ايه ما حاجات الدكاتره السنان دي.
No, أنا بقول لك because you what we see a lot of people that are like doctor I brush every day. I brush 3 times a day. And then I open their mouth and I know that ما فيش فرشة سنان has touched their mouth for 3 years. I can look at it and know that you are lying. You're lying. طبعا.
امير لما خلص البودكاست هحتاجك في حاجه.
مش هبص لك بقى. I promise you, and people will tell me that all the time, all day. Doc, I have the best hygiene. I brush my teeth 3 times a day and I floss. No, what you did is you let your toothbrush run with some water and then you spit it out and then you saw a piece of floss to get a piece of food out.
ضيعت وقتي وغسلت اسناني. ما هتنجزوا معانا.
ضيعت وقتك عشان تغسل سنانك.
He's so offended.
تروح البلد
بيزعلوا قوي لما بتكلم مع الدكتور سنان ده بيزعل.
أنا بزعل because يعني I remember being in school and seeing patients when they would come وتلاقي their entire mouth is rotted away and I would feel bad for them. So then I would feel so bad for them. And I had a professor tell me, he goes, it's good to have empathy and to feel bad for them, but you need to understand that you gave them the tools and they had the tools, the cheapest tools actually, a toothbrush and toothpaste to take care of their mouth at the base minimum and they chose not to.
وانت غسلت سنانك كل يوم مرتين يعني فلاس والحاجات دي كلها وقبل ما تنام بتحط اللي هو بتاع كان اسمه ايه
النايت جارد
ده يلا
the mouthwash or
ده mouthwash والحاجات دي كلها مش هيجي لك
I will not say that you won't get cavities because cavities برضه has a genetic component. يعني for example some people have more
I have bad genes.
Yeah. No, I don't. I say that to patients and they all tell me, yeah, I just have bad genes. My family all lost their لا خلاص.
I have bad genes.
I will tell patients it's not entirely your fault that this may have happened, but if you actually brush your teeth twice a day and floss between your teeth and use the mouthwash, I promise you it will not get to the point where you need root canals and extractions. You may have some fillings, but everyone has fillings. I as a dentist have had cavities before.
مش مقتنع ليه؟ الراجل اغسل سنانك يلا.
I'm brush your teeth يا جماعة. سيبوني.
عارف التيك توك الراجل بتاع اللي بيطلع التيك توك ده اللي هو سو فيمس بيقول لك روح الجيم يلا يلا روح اغسل سنانك يلا اغسل سنانك. امير هيطلع بقى.
I'm gonna want to do a TikTok page right.
روح اعمل تيك توك بيج ولهم يا معفنين.
Brush your teeth.
لا يلا ما علينا. Thank you so much Amir.
Thank you for having me guys.
فكرتني شفت كنت هنساها.
ايه يا رمود.
Apples?
Are you scared of apples?
No, bite into apples.
yeah.
I have to bite into apples.
لا you don't get it.
Oh, an apple a day keeps the doctor away? That's the real doctors. مش احنا.
He's a dentist.
I'm a dentist.
لا صح.
افتكرت.
لسه فاكر دلوقتي مش.
طب if Kiro's already here sitting ما بيننا, why didn't he just sit here?
Yeah, صح.
He
has a point.
I didn't know.
انت كنتش عارف ان في قفاه هنا؟
سايب قفاك كده مفتوح للناس.
You know the story behind this?
No, you guys have talked. I don't remember.
So the story is one of my birthdays هو جاب لي like a gift مش عارف كان جاب لي باين عروسة ولا هيجيب لي like a little he did something a prank like a gift prank فأنا كنت like in his birthday it was like 3 months after I wanted to pay back يعني I wanted to give him a payback I got this I printed my face and I intentionally looked like this يعني this is not how I look usually.
لا كورولوس ما استحماش بقاله ما غشاش اسنانه.
I intentionally ما غشاش.
حطها على بكسات السجاير.
ده المشروع الجاي.
لو شربت سجاير هتبقى زي عمرو.
لا انت خدها بقى ربنا انا بتبرع لك بيها خد عندك العياده.
لا الله يخليك.
اليوم حبايبي لو ما غسلتش اسنانك وده هيبقى شكله كده.
He's not even showing his teeth. He's like he's missing all of his teeth. لا بجد حلو يعني فكرة حلوة I like it.
was a good
بس
prank.
just became part of the podcast.
So I want to know يعني whenever you guys aren't recording بقى it stays here.
بحطها في
انا
اوضه
كنت
النوم.
لسه بقول لهم انا اول لما جات لي هديه كنت حاططها في اوضتي فوق
Yeah.
تمام. فانا كنت حاططها كنتش لاقيها مكان غير على المكتب
تمام
او مش على المكتب مكان جنب المكتب.
على الكرسي.
فانا كل يوم بصحى المكتب قدامي كل يوم بصحى بلاقي المخده دي في وشي.
صباح
انا
الخير.
ياما اترعبت اول لما خلصت
صباح الخير.
لما نزلناها هنا كنت راميها تحت عشان ما تخضش حد وهو داخل. لو تخيل حد يخش يلاقي واحد قاعد هنا
يعني
راس بني ادم.
you have icons in your house and you have all these same
ما الحاجات دي
pictures.
ورا
وكيرو.
الحاجات دي ورا الكاميرا قدام الكاميرا
كيرو حافظ على البيت.
قدام الكاميرا بتبين لهم.
بجد it's a beautiful friendship that you guys have had. I remember when you guys first came a long time in Sunday school.
Actually, you were one of the very first ones we met.
I remember in Sunday school.
That's true.
Alhamdulillah.
Very long time.
Yeah.
Miss old day. ايوه تصدق صح اتكلمنا مع ريمون في الموضوع دوت ان ريمون برضه one of the
الغلس. الغلس.
ريمون يلا فاهم مش هقول عليه غلس.
Yeah, we shouldn't talk about people when they're not here.
مش
On air.
Except Ramon.
اكسبت ريمون يعني. لا يا عم ده لوير يعمل علينا قضيه. بيقفل لنا البودكاست.
Actually, Ramon,
Disclaimer.
this is he just passed his bar exam. Alhamdulillah.
بجد.
So now he's officially
Shout out.
متر.
Congratulations
لما
Ramon.
نيجي ولا لما اي قضيه ولا اي حاجه نكلم ريمون.
أي قضية بقى.
أي murder أي.
Any copyrights for
طب
الدنيا?
حاجه معينه لوير حاجه معينه ولا اي حاجه؟
He's doing I'm airing out all his business. He's doing a
برومو كود.
tax lawyer program. So it's the only residency for lawyers is this tax program where he's only specializing in tax law. It's the only residency that law school has, and he got accepted to a program and he's doing that for 1 year.
ربنا معاه. لما ناخده في التاكس فاضل لما ناخد فلوس كتير في البودكاست دوت.
After we don't pay our student loans and
Thanks so much Amir.
thank you for having
It
us.
was a great time بأمانة.
Amazing
Thank you for
time,
coming.
yeah. Very beneficial.
I'm glad you guys had me. It was awesome.
Yeah, nice debates. I
Thank
liked it.
I liked it, and that's how it should be. That's how podcast should be.
Yeah.
تحب تقول حاجة لما دام قدام الكاميرا؟ تعمل باي قدام الكاميرا ولا حاجة؟ لا مش ايه في ايه؟
صح.
أنا صعيدة.
راعي مشاعر الناس.
أنا بيت صعيدة يعني.
أنا آسف. أكلمك بعدين.
انتوا متجوزين
أيوة صح.
ما ينفعش برضه. بيت محترم.
تلاقي حاجة قدام الكاميرا؟
Thank you for coming with me today, and thank you for.
لا مش ليها لأن عموما. ما أنت عملت لك
الكاميرا؟
لا تقول حاجة للناس يعني.
قول لهم يعملوا سبسكرايب.
صح. Brush your teeth. 1 and then 2 comment, like and subscribe to الدنيا on Spotify and YouTube and Apple Music. Apple Music?
لا مفيش ابل ميوزك بس it's okay.
Take out inshallah. Subscribe, comment, subscribe, and honestly, these guys deserve it all. They work really hard for this.
What do you think? What's your feedback?
My feedback?
انا دورت عليها ما لقيتهاش.
هي دي
البودكاست
مش مهم كمل
يا عم.
Chat.
عمل
My
لنا
feedback, honestly,
Yeah, what's your
this is
feedback?
good what you guys do because these are the same conversations I always talked about with the guys. These are the same conversations that we would have with each other whenever we would go out, right?
Yeah.
It's the
اللي
same
انت اللي
thing.
هنتكلم عن كده السنه دي
It's like يا جدع I remember one day لما نتخرج بقى ونتجوز ونبقى عندنا فلوس يعني ايه الدنيا what's it gonna be like. This is the things that we talk about when you go out late at night. خلاص this is now all we're doing is recording and having the same conversations.
That's exactly the point of the podcast.
There you go.
Thank you so much Amir, for
Thank you
coming.
for having us.
Thank you.
Hopefully we get you back one more time.
Season 22 في
اي
العادة.
سيزون من السيزونات الجايه.
One day إن شاء الله.
اخوك رولس
حبيبي رمون
توحشنا والله.
نطلع نخلص نطلع نغسل اسناننا.
نغسل السنة اول حاجه اعملها النهارده بالله اغسل سناني.
وانا النهارده جبت لكم
كل ما اروح دكتور مع اني بروح له كل يعني بروح
Man, that would have been a
كل
great
مرة-
idea.
كل مره
الشنطه
معاه
بالفرصه
الشنطه العادي.
تاني
عندي شلف مليان شنط.
يروح يجيب لي الشنطه كده طلع لها داست.
شكرا طلعوا غسلوا اسنانكم. Thank you Amir for coming.
Thank you for having us.
It was amazing.
بس شكرا.